A fully authorized organization swings into action. It may be called the state police, state troopers, militia, the Rangers, or the Highway Patrol. These are the stories of the men whose training, skill, and courage have enforced and preserved our state laws. Whenever the laws of any state are broken, a duly authorized organization swings into action. It may be called the state police, state troopers, militia, the Rangers, or the Highway Patrol. These are the stories of the men whose training, skill, and courage have enforced and preserved our state laws. Law enforcement agencies do not agree with the common belief that society always benefits when criminals exterminate each other. For when the underworld settles its disputes by violence, there is no regard for the safety of innocent citizens. The Highway Patrol was faced with this problem early last month. Les Curtis had worked as errand boy for a master counterfeiter, Alfred Manson. Now, as he and Manson prepared to deliver a set of counterfeit engraving plates, Curtis decided his apprenticeship was over.
Sorry, Manson. Thanks for everything.
I can understand you not wanting to be seen at the motel. But this is so open.
All the better. Who's going to notice a couple of guys on a park bench who switched briefcases?
For that matter, you could have brought the plates to your print shop.
Langley, would you have me bring suspicious characters to my place of business? Don't worry, Manson's too hungry for this 20 grand to let anything go wrong. See, there's Curtis.
But Manson was to bring the plates.
If I know Manson, he's not far away. Get going. Easy, easy. Act like you're a guy killing time.
$30.16 to $21.50.
I got it. $21.50 by.
On this motel shooting, the victim's registered as Alfred Manson. I've talked to the occupants of the other units. So far, no suspects, motive unknown.
What about the chambermaid that found the body? Did you talk to her?
Affirmative, but she's not much help. I'm waiting for the manager. He was downtown at a linen supply shop when the body was discovered. He's on his way back to the motel now.
I'll be there in a few minutes. 10-4?
10-4.
Hold it, Curtis. After the switch, I was to move first.
That was just in case somebody was around. There isn't, so...
In that case, it won't hurt to examine the plates.
I suppose you can tell how good a plate is just by looking at it.
You check the 20 grand, I'll check the plates.
You're missing the point of this little arrangement, aren't you, Dad? The quick switch?
I knew you and Manson were up to something.
Oh, not Manson. This is all my idea. Manson's dead. Odd, isn't it? Manson died because he was too gullible. You're going to die because you're too suspicious.
No.
Curtis. They killed Manson, too.
Headquarters said there's no record on Alfred Manson.
We'll probably do better when we get his prints. The manager gave us a lead in the suspect, a guy by the name of Manson. He comes here quite often with a fellow he calls Les. Tall guy, 30, about 6 feet tall. Lab boys come up with anything yet?
No, not yet. They're still working over Manson's room. There's one thing, though. The registration card shows a license number. But I haven't been able to find a car on the grounds.
Oh, yeah, another thing. The manager said Les came in with Manson's car last night, but he didn't see him leave.
Well, he's got a start on us.
Yeah, check the lab boys. I'll get on the horn here.
Get trapped, Curtis. I'll give you your choice. Give me the plates or give me back my money. You name it.
You're bluffing. You don't dare shoot.
Try me and see.
You'll have the whole pack after you if you fire a shot.
I'm giving you a break, Curtis. Pay up and you can take off.
The victim's body was found by a park employee. 1412 is investigating. 10-4?
10-4. Well, we got another shooting, this time in Cranston City Park. Come on, let's go.
Now, Marie, you put that money away. You're my guest.
But I want to pay for my share of the gasoline.
I'd be going to Woodbury anyway. Some other time, Marie.
Honestly, Ella.
Just wait till you see my son's home. It's only a tiny farmhouse, but Walter and Kathy have fixed it up so modern.
Excuse me, do you have a bus schedule I might take a look at?
I'm sorry, mister. No buses run on this road.
This just isn't my day, I guess. Well, that's what I get for trying to play the big shot insurance agent.
Yeah, that's so.
You see, a client of mine had his car in for repairs, and I let him use my car so he wouldn't have to worry about calling a taxi when his wife had to go to the hospital. Their first child is quite an event. I thought I could pick up a bus back to Preston, so I'm stranded.
Pardon me, young man. You're going to Preston?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I can borrow a company car at our branch office.
We'll be going right through there on our way to Woodbury, if you'd care for a ride.
Well, fine. Wonderful. Do you think it's safe for such attractive ladies to pick up a hitchhiker?
You're no hitchhiker. You're more of an assistant to the stork. Ride up with us. The back's full of suitcases.
Fine.
Well, that'll be $4.53. Thanks a lot, Miss Brewster. Have a nice trip.
Thank you.
Well, I got to look at the victim before they took him away. He's an ex-con, Ralph Langley, counterfeiter.
Langley.
Yeah, we had him on a bunker charge a while back, but it didn't stick.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Any lead on who did it?
No, nobody was around when the gardener stumbled on the body. Langley's driver's license gives him the address on Current Street. Let's check it.
Headquarters to 2150.
2150 by.
Unit 1216 reports finding abandoned vehicle registered to Alfred Manson, blocking middle of Dead End Street, 1 mile east of Cranston Park. The vehicle is in operable condition, and the motor was still warm. 10-4?
Check the vehicle for prints. Have the other units cover the area. 10-4?
10-4.
Parked in the middle of a dead-end street. That's a funny way to ditch a car.
That's why I think the killer's still in the area.
None of our units was after him. He must have panicked for no reason at all.
No reason at all? He's got one now. Come on, let's go.
Yes, sir. Fill her up?
I just want some information. I was to meet a friend of mine along the highway, and we seem to have missed connections. Maybe you've seen him. He's 6 feet tall, about 30, dark, well-dressed.
Would he be carrying a briefcase?
That's him. Do you remember which way he was headed?
He hitched a ride with a couple of women, and I'll tell you exactly how to spot his car.
Langley's address was legit. He works for the printing company.
A paroled counterfeiter in a print shop?
The secretary says he's an outside man, a salesman. But get this. He left this morning with his boss, Leonard Stone. They left early in Stone's convertible. Now, Stone was due back here at 10 o'clock. He's got an appointment. He hasn't phoned or shown. Now, his secretary's worried. It's no act.
Yeah, good reason. If Stone didn't shoot Langley, he could be in trouble himself.
I'll tell you, we'll look for him. He's about 40, heavy set.
Headquarters to 2150.
2150 by.
The lab report is in on the 2 shootings in Cranston.
Let's have it.
Ballistics established that Alfred Manson and Ralph Langley were both shot with the same weapon, a .38 caliber pistol. 10-4?
10-4.
The same gun. Well, if Les shot Manson and then killed Langley in the park, where does Stone fit in?
I'll get on my PB. If we find him, maybe he'll explain. Head down the highway.
I'll get out right here, Mrs. Brewster.
Oh, but this isn't Preston. That's the next town.
I know, but I just thought of a client here I'd like to check on. It might mean a big deal. I'll get to town. I can't tell you ladies how much I appreciate it. On second thought, I think this would be a bad day to see that client. I will go on to Preston if it's no trouble.
How could a nice young man like you possibly be any trouble?
Fleeing from another criminal after committing 2 murders, Les Curtis was now placing in jeopardy the lives of 2 innocent women. In its effort to track down the killer, the Highway Patrol methodically questioned persons in the area of the abandoned automobile.
Yes, sir. Can I help you?
Yeah, you sure can. We've been going through this whole neighborhood. We're looking for a fellow about 6 feet tall. He's dark, about 30 years of age. We think he was on foot.
Would he be well-dressed and carrying a briefcase?
Well, he could be. Once you see him.
About 10 o'clock. I was waiting on a customer, and this fella hitched a ride with her and her friend.
What kind of a car was it?
Well, Mrs. Brewster drives a green sedan.
Oh, you know the owner? Well, you have a license number then.
Yeah, it's in a file somewhere, but I don't think you'll find this fella with the 2 women now. Not if his pal caught up with him. Boy, you should have seen that convertible rip out of here.
This guy in the convertible, describe him.
Well, he was kind of stocky, about 40 years old. Slipped me $5 and away he went.
The hitchhiker, the tall guy. Which way did he go, you know?
Well, I'm not sure. He said something about getting the bus to Preston. But the 2 women are going on to Woodbury.
Check that license number. Will you get it for me? Hurry it up and search it.
I see now why Les ditched that car the way he did. He's running away from Stone.
He's running away from the law and from Stone. Carrying a briefcase, too. I don't get it.
Well, whatever's in it must be the motive for 2 murders.
If we don't find that sedan, we're liable to have 2 more.
My son Walter married Kathy 2 years ago last March. I get down to see them once a month.
I'm sure they look forward to your visits, Mrs. Brewster.
They seem to. Oh, dear, that sign said Preston 4 miles. You'll be leaving us soon.
I was just thinking, this is the day my district manager's in Woodbury. Might be a good idea to try to catch him there.
Oh, that'll be fine. He can go all the way with us. I wonder if it's a boy or a girl.
Boy or girl?
She means your client. The one you loaned your car to take his wife to the hospital.
Oh, sure. Maybe it'll be twins.
You know, there's a chance Stone won't rush Les while he's with the woman, unless he catches up with them on a deserted road.
Yeah, and then they're in trouble from both men. I look for less to try to leave the woman and get to an airport or hop a train.
If Stone tell him that's going to be tough, but we'll stake out the airports and the depots.
Well, I finally found it. But like I say, you're wasting your time looking for this sedan. It's the convertible you gotta watch.
We'll look for both of them. Thanks very much. Take off. I'll get an APB.
If you'd like, Mrs. Brewster, I'll drive for a while. You can relax.
Oh, I'm not the least bit tired, thank you.
I know how you feel, not wanting a stranger to drive your car. Oh, believe me, I don't take it personally. I just felt that if I took the wheel for a while, you'd be nice and fresh when you reach your son's place.
Oh, how thoughtful. I won't have you thinking I don't trust you. I'd love to have you drive, really.
Fine. Now'll be a good place to pull over. No one's behind us.
The main routes to Woodbury are marked on your map. A 10-mile segment to each unit. 10-4.
With units patrolling both ways, we can cover it all in a half hour. Let's set it up.
And if there's one thing I am, it's punctual. When I say I'll be at a place at a certain time, I'll be there. Now take today. My son knows that I'll drive up to their house right on the dot. Oh, my word, we're on the wrong road. Woodbury's back that way.
Couldn't be.
Tipton 10 miles, that's what the sign said.
Tipton? Oh, we're miles out of our way. I had a feeling you made a wrong turn a few miles back. Oh, and you're driving too fast. I never go over the speed limit. Stop and turn around.
We can pick up an alternate at Tipton.
But I'm sorry. I hate to be obstinate, but I insist that you turn around this instant.
Gee, I sure goofed. I don't know how I got so mixed up. As long as we've gone this far out of our way, why not continue until we find a telephone? I'll call my boss, and you can call your son and tell him that you will be a little late. How's that?
Well, I suppose that's the sensible thing to do. I'm sorry I got angry. I have a phobia about being late.
I don't blame you a bit.
All units patrolling main roads to Woodbury report reaching their converging points. No contact with either suspect vehicle. 10-4?
You have anything from the stakeouts at the airports or the bus stations?
Negative.
There's no doubt now those women are in trouble for sure. Less than Stone could have forced them east into Walnut Valley or west to Paxton Hills. Divert all units into both areas. I'm heading east towards the valley.
I'll call my boss first, if you don't mind.
Oh, I know it's not his fault, but I can't help being provoked.
It's what comes of trying to do a good turn.
Well, to be fair about it, this young man was trying to do somebody else a good turn.
Hello, operator. Get me the Tipton Airport. I haven't the number. Look, operator, I'm in a hurry. I want flight information at the Tipton Airport. Now, you take it from there.
I ought to give it to you like you did Langley.
Listen, Stone. Those women over there don't know anything's wrong. You shoot me and they'll run to the cops. I'll give you the place. They're right in my pocket.
Where's the money, in the sedan?
Yes. I'll split it with you. 10 grand will get me clear. And you won't be involved in the killings.
I'm not involved now. I'm taking my whole 20 grand back. You try to keep those two old biddies conned, but get the money.
He's talking to some man. I think I'll call Walter. the police.
There's a car behind us, but it's not the police patrol. It's a convertible.
That's the man. Shot that young man and now he's after us. Well, drive faster. Faster.
Headquarters to 1612. Investigate emergency at Highway 42 and Mill Road. Go to telephone pay station. A possible shooting. 10-4.
2150 to headquarters.
Headquarters by.
On this Mill Road emergency. Anything else?
To 2150. Telephone company supervisor at Tipton reports call from pay station interrupted. Possibly by a gunshot. The line is still open and the operator reports man moaning. The 1612 is now proceeding from Tipton.
I'll proceed to that 1020 for rendezvous. 10-4?
10-4.
Clear with the operator. What happened?
I was on the phone. A bandit shot me. Took my car.
Curtis, we're going to book you on 2 charges of murder and 2 of kidnapping.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Come on, we got you dead to rights. Half the Manson and Langley were killed. You hitched a ride with a woman by the name of Ella Brewster and another old lady. If those 2 women were harmed in any way, I promise you.
I didn't harm them. If anything happens to them, it's Stone's work.
Tell the other unit to call an ambulance. Then book Curtis.
Right.
All right, come on, we're Ollie.
You got the briefcase. Hand it over. You won't be repeating that license number, lady. Your ex-passenger fixed it so I don't have a choice. Do what I tell you and I won't have to shoot. Swing this car out and block the road. Go on, block the road. Both of you, get out of the car. You at the wheel. Take the keys. Come on. Get into my car. I'm taking you along for protection. Go on, get in.
Call headquarters. Have them set up roadblocks in this area. I'm going to see what I can do about that sedan.
Don't come any closer or these women get it.
Come on, Stone. Play it smart. Curtis is not dead. Throw down your gun.
Did you hear that? You're not a murderer. Let us go.
It's a trap.
You women keep down. I'd hold it, Stone. Go get it. Keep him up. All right, ladies, you can get up now. You know, I wouldn't advise it again, but that key bit, that took a lot of nerve.
Well, if you'd seen him shoot that nice young man in cold blood.
Just a minute, ladies. I don't know how you're going to take this, but this nice young man you're talking about, he committed 2 murders today.
Why, imagine, we've been riding all day with a murderer. Wait till Walter and Kathy hear about this.
Here's part of the motive, counterfeit plates. This stuff looks real.
It is real. $20,000 and it belongs to me.
You hear that, ladies? Take a look. $20,000. He's not going to be able to spend a nickel of it. All right, move. See Highway Patrol again next week. Until then, remember, reckless driving doesn't determine who's right, only who's left. This is Roderick Crawford saying, see you next week.
any state are broken, a duly authorized organization swings into action. It may be called the state police, state troopers, militia, the rangers, or the highway patrol. These are the stories of the men whose training, skill, and courage have enforced and preserved our state laws. Law enforcement agencies are frequently helped in the apprehension of criminals by the method of operation used in committing the crime. Smart criminals attempt to counteract this intelligence by avoiding a set pattern of activity or by engaging in a confusing pattern. Such an operation was encountered by the Highway Patrol in March of this year. The criminals trapped the victims by posing as hitchhikers. Two of them were attractive females, completely opposite in physical appearance and mannerism. However, they were alike in one respect. Both knew how to use a gun.
You keep your eye on my sample case.
Yes, of course.
Brought your customer, Joe.
Thank you, Mr. Childs.
While Doyle Houston was setting up the next victim, the two female accomplices waited in the cabin hideout.
Hi, enjoy your walk?
It was wonderful. And that sunset. I haven't seen anything like that since I was 10 years old.
You just haven't been looking. We've had a lot of them since then.
How would you know? Why don't you gonna stick your nose out the door and get some exercise?
I've had all the exercise I need this afternoon. I washed my nylons.
I always claim that the man that has money has an advantage over the man that hasn't. And I've proved it time after time.
Well, how?
Well, the consideration clause, for one thing.
What's that?
Well, in some of these land auctions, they insert a clause giving the seller 24 hours consideration as to whether or not he wants to sell. That's so that they can back out if they let the property go too cheap.
Oh, I see.
But if you've paid the full amount down in cash, they're stuck. It's your property, consideration to the contrary.
Well, if you're going to get that good night's sleep, we'd better mosey along. I'll take the check.
Not on your tin type. This is my party.
All right. If you'll have breakfast on me in the morning.
It's a deal. How about 8 o'clock?
Fine.
Boy, I'm glad we're not playing for money. I wouldn't play you for money. There's a car coming. It's Warren. Are we in business?
Yeah. Man's name is Doyle Houston. He's carrying $2,500 in cash.
Where does he keep it?
In his inside coat pocket.
Good.
We're going to the restaurant at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'll meet him and tell him that I have to go back and wait for a long-distance call. You go into the restaurant, take over from there.
The restaurant at 8 o'clock.
Yeah. Now, both of you come back here and stay. I'll stick around the motel and restaurant until it's safe to travel.
Jen.
The following morning, the trap began to close around Doyle Houston, the man who had been foolish enough to tell a stranger he was carrying considerable cash.
Charlene, do you think Midnight Lure will work at 8 o'clock in the morning? You'll do, with or without the Midnight Lure. Come on, we've got half an hour to get to the restaurant.
Sorry, Doyle, I forgot. I have to stand by and wait for a long-distance call this morning. I'll be back as soon as it comes in.
Oh, that's all right. But I think I'll eat and get on my way.
I'm sure sorry. Well, if I don't see you again, good luck.
Thanks. Same to you.
Bye. Bye.
You're in business.
Yes, miss.
I'm from the agency. Are you Mr. Adams?
No, I'm just Joe.
Oh, well, you did send to the agency for a waitress, didn't you?
Not me.
Don't tell me I've made a mistake. I'm sure I followed directions. I was to go to the first restaurant on the highway outside of Landfield.
I'm sorry, miss, but you're in the wrong town. Landfield is the next place west.
Oh. Wouldn't you know something like this would happen to me? And I was so sure this was Landfield. Is there a bus?
In about 2 hours.
How far is it?
About 17 miles. You could take a cab.
I can't afford that.
Oh, I'm going that way, miss. I'd be glad to drive you to Landfield.
Oh, I couldn't ask you to do that.
Oh, why not? I'm going through there anyway.
Well, I'd certainly appreciate it.
Perfectly all right. Hard to imagine a beautiful girl like you working in a place like that.
Beautiful girls have to eat.
I have to go up north today, but I'll be back through here sometime tomorrow, and, well, if there's anything I can do,
Here is.
Oh, what?
Pull over to the side of the road. Put your hands behind your back. Do as I say. Put your hands behind your back.
But this must be a joke. A girl like you just couldn't do a thing like this.
It's no joke. You make one single move and I'll shoot. Shoot. Any change in plans? Warren says no. Let's go.
An examination of Doyle Houston's car disclosed no obvious evidence. Patrolman Morse took the necessary steps to obtain more information on the victim.
His name is Doyle Houston. Here's a bill from the Highway Motel where he stayed last night. I found it in the glove compartment.
What about the coroner and the lab boys?
They're on the way. Headquarters is checking the license number to find out where he lived. No registration card.
Well, she didn't take the car, so somebody must have picked her up.
She?
Yeah. There's a faint odor of perfume in the car. That tells a story in itself. Look, I'm going back to the motel. You wait for the lab boys. Meet me there as soon as possible.
Right.
I'm Matthews, Highway Patrol. Did you have a Doyle Houston check in here last night?
Yes.
Was he alone or was there a woman with him?
He was alone.
Did you see him when he left this morning?
Yes, I called him at 7:30, and a little while later, he drove out. He went over to the restaurant for breakfast.
Well, thanks. I'll check the restaurant. If a patrolman comes in, tell him I'm over there, will you?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I'm Matthews, Highway Patrol. Tell me, was there a man in here for breakfast this morning about 8 o'clock? He was about, 5 feet 10 or 11, probably 165 pounds. He had on a light gray suit. Oh, he also had a mustache.
Yeah, I remember him.
Did he come in alone?
Yes.
Did he leave alone?
Well, no. He went out with the girl.
What girl?
Well, I don't know. I never saw her before. But boy, was she a looker. Blonde, I think.
Where'd she come from?
Well, I don't know that either. You see, she'd been sent here to take a job as a waitress, but she was in the wrong town. And the man you're talking about, well, he offered to drive her to Landfield.
Oh, fine. Thanks for your help.
Was something wrong?
Yeah, something's wrong.
Boy, am I hungry.
Me too. The mountain air.
I'll be glad when we get out of this mountain air before I pick up another 10 pounds. You know, that's the worst of Warren's system, is hanging around the neighborhood when the work's done.
You picked the wrong word. That's the best of Warren's system. We don't make a move until he's sure it's safe to do so.
I guess you're right.
Lab boys had an expert check the perfume. Midnight Lure.
And?
DMV checked the license plates. 3016 got in touch with his wife. He was carrying $2,500 in cash on him.
Now we got to find out how the blonde knew we had it with him. There must be somebody around here saw her arrive on the scene.
There's some houses down the street. I'll go down and check and see if anyone saw her get out of a car that could be identified.
I'll recheck the motel. If we can find out where she came from, we might find out where she went. Let's go.
Right.
Yes, Mr. Matthews?
Oh, would you give me a list of all your guests, the names, addresses, license numbers?
I'd be glad to.
You see, Houston met a woman in the restaurant this morning. He gave her a lift to Landfield. We want to know if anybody saw that woman. Did you?
No, I didn't.
Was there anybody else up at 8 o'clock this morning?
The two maids and the janitor and myself, of course. And Mr. Childs.
Well, I'll talk to all of them. Start with Mr. Childs. Where is he?
Cabin 27 in the front.
Thanks.
Come in.
Mr. Childs?
Yes?
I'm Matthews, Highway Patrol.
What a disappointment. Thought you might be a customer. What can I do for you, Miss Matthews?
Well, this morning a woman wandered into the restaurant. She was given a lift by a Doyle Houston.
And?
We're trying to figure out where she came from and how she got here. That is to say, what means of transportation she used. Did you happen to see her?
I'm sorry, I didn't.
Did you know Mr. Houston?
Well, not until last night. He arrived as I was talking to Mrs. Johns. He said he wanted to know whether it was a good restaurant, and I told him I had to settle for just a restaurant.
Anything else?
Well, we had dinner together. He was quite a talker.
What business are you in, Mr. Childs?
Well, sometimes I wonder if I have any. Actually, I'm covering the small towns in this area, trying to sell them some costume jewelry.
Oh, I see. Well, I hope you make it. Thanks for your help. Well, I think we're hot. There's a guy at the motel I had dinner with Houston last night. He could have found out about the money.
Oh, yeah?
He also was with that gal Houston was with. I got a whiff of the same perfume.
Got enough to pick him up?
Enough to make him a suspect, though. Take a look. Here he comes. Are we going to stand around all day when we don't even know what we're looking for? Oh, how are you, Mr. Childs?
Hi. We're looking for a woman.
What woman? We haven't even got a fingerprint.
Say, you remember that girl with
Checked him. He doesn't remember a thing. She could be 200 or 300 miles away by now. I'm going back to headquarters. You go back on traffic duty.
All right.
Go a half mile east, pick a hiding place. If he comes out, tail him. Keep in touch with me. I'm Matthews, Highway Patrol. We need a civilian car to trail a suspect. Will you cooperate?
I sure would. Where's the suspect?
He should be along any minute. Would you mind pulling right over there? Just drove by. I'm using civilian car for pursuit. It's a gray sedan. License number C for Charles, P for Peter, G for George, 397. Mind if I drive? All right, get over there. Let me have that bag. I imagine we'll find that the bullet from this gun killed Houston.
How did you know I was in there?
Your perfume. What you used to trap your victims trapped you. All right, turn around. Put your hands behind your back. Okay, go ahead.
The Highway Patrol story next week is a very unusual one. We hope you'll be with us. Until then, remember, the clowns at the circus, they're real funny. But on the highway, they're murder. This is Roderick Crawford saying see you next week.
Whenever the laws of any state are broken, a duly authorized organization swings into action. It may be called the state police, state troopers, militia, the rangers, or the highway patrol. These are the stories of the men whose training, skill, and courage have enforced and preserved our state laws. American communities, large and small, are bound together by more than 3 million miles of roads and highways. It is the responsibility of the Highway Patrol to safeguard the rights of citizens to free, safe, and unrestricted use of these millions of miles of thoroughfare. To most Americans, the highways lead to jobs, to vacation spots, or to families and homes. To a very few, like Stan Warren, a highway is not a means of approach. It is an avenue of escape.
Sorry, I didn't hear you drive up. I had my radio on. Fill her up for you?
You guessed it. Say, could you tell me the best way to get to Huntington?
Huntington? Now, your best bet is stay on this dirt road till you get to 19 and turn north. You'll see the road markers.
Well, I'd appreciate a road map if you have one.
Now, we only got some wildflower maps.
Wildflower maps?
Oh, I guess you're a tourist. Yeah, they show places on the deserts you can see wildflowers, but they don't show Huntington. Won't do you much good.
Oh. Well, let me have one anyway. After I pick the wife up at Huntington, we might drive back over the desert next week on our way home.
Oh, sure. Yeah, there's something to see, so they tell me. Personally, I wouldn't know a wildflower if it bit me.
You and me both. But the wife will get a big kick out of the trip.
$3 each. Out of 5. And there's your map. Hope you and your wife enjoy the trip.
I'm sure we will. Thank you very much.
The Highway Patrol has released the following description of Stan Warren, wanted for questioning in the murder of Virginia Dorn.
Warren is 5 feet 11 and weighs about 160 pounds. He's described as being habitually well-dressed and well-groomed. He's probably armed and dangerous. The suspect may be driving a two-tone convertible, license number 2S68040. If you have reason to believe you've seen this man, contact your local police, sheriff's office, or highway patrol. On the national scene, the department...
Operator, give me the highway patrol.
Gas station attendant advises that the suspect headed east toward Highway 19.
10-4. Put out an emergency APB. Alert all units at Huntington, Red Rock, and Bitter Creek.
10-4.
You know, the description fits Warren, and the car cinches it.
Yeah, but according to the report, the lieutenant said that the man wasn't in any hurry. What's all this chit-chat about wildflower maps and his wife in Huntington? Warren isn't married.
No, he hasn't had time. But he's gonna lie. He's smooth and sharp. He's got to be a con man.
Con man turned murderer.
All right, he won't move too fast. That'll create suspicion. Now, look, if he says he's going to Huntington, that's the last place he's gonna go.
With radio stations cooperating with the Highway Patrol, the fugitive inevitably learned that his description and that of his car was being broadcast throughout the state. He knew that his escape, even from this relatively unpatrolled area, depended upon a quick and unexpected change in tactics. In this part of the state, the advantage lay with the fugitive killer. He alone knew which of the many routes toward freedom he would take. And the Highway Patrol could not hope to block all possible avenues of escape.
I've lived around here in Empire Valley all my life. I never heard of fish on the desert before.
Oh, this area used to be an inland sea, hundreds of millions of years ago.
Yes, we're looking for fossils.
Fossils? Oh, you mean them big monsters like in the movies, huh?
Well, you're probably thinking of dinosaurs. The fish fossils that we're looking for came much earlier, during the Devonian period.
Oh, yeah. Excuse me a minute. Number 2 and 4 is all we got. Your special's all gone.
Well, I'll take number 4.
You fellow scientists? Not exactly. We teach at a university.
You do? Guess you're on an expedition, huh?
Oh, I'd hardly call it that. Some people go deer hunting on weekends. My friend and I decided to come out here to the desert and dig for fossils.
Sort of a postman's holiday. Oh, how do you know where to dig?
Mostly guesswork. But we heard of a place a few miles off the highway that sounds promising. What do you do for a living, Mr.
Martin. Sam Martin. I'm just a short order cook. On my way to a job in Morrisburg. Not due till Wednesday. Oh, well, this is Professor Lamont. My name's Gordon Ryan.
Mr. Ryan is an instructor at the same university I'm with. He'll be a professor next year.
Hey, that's swell. You said you're going out in the desert for a weekend. I was just thinking, I could cook for you. Help lug your gear. And maybe drive for you?
I admit that neither Ryan or I look forward to my cooking, Mr. Martin. But it doesn't sound like very much fun for you.
Sure will be. Gosh, I've never seen real scientists before.
All right, Mr. Martin. Go ahead and finish your lunch. And you can join our expedition.
2150.
2150 by.
2360 advises that a motorist reported a man and vehicle fitting the broadcast description heading east through Empire Valley.
What was the time of the sighting?
Approximately 1330.
It's about 40 minutes ago.
2360 advised that the witness flagged down the first patrol car he saw.
10-4. You know, Empire Valley's a good bet for Warren. With that 40-minute start, he can get out of the state a dozen ways. He's smart enough to make the switch, too. 2150 to headquarters.
Headquarters, go ahead.
I'm turning off on 17, heading for Empire Valley.
Thinly scattered patrol units covered the highways. Stan Warren plowed through the desert wasteland, seeking a new route of escape.
Say, Professor, you know anything about these roads the other side of the fossil beds? Where do they lead?
Some of them lead into the mountains, and several connect with main highways.
Across the state line?
Yes. That's why Ryan and I came this way. So we wouldn't be confused by that network of roads.
It's been pretty rough going the past couple of miles. It wouldn't hurt for us to take a little break.
Hey, that's a good idea.
I'm ready, gentlemen. Now get this. This is loaded, and I'm not kidding. Do what you're told, and nobody will get hurt.
Martin,
Here. Tie up your friend. Ryan, lie down on the ground. Go on.
Are you out of your mind?
I said lie down. All right, Lamont, tie him up. Turn over with your hands behind your back. Go on, Lamont, tie him up. If you don't tie him, I shoot him. Now take your choice.
Intensified search in the Empire Valley region brought one result: the discovery of Stan Warren's car.
Well, how about this? He changed clothes and probably cars. Either that or he's still looking for one. Probably still in the area. Let's go.
2150 to headquarters.
Headquarters, go ahead, 2150.
Suspect's car is on the outskirts of 3 wells, apparently abandoned. Put out an APB to Empire Valley units to examine the occupants of all cars heading east out of the valley.
Very good, Professor. You get a PhD in knot tying. Now get in. You're driving.
Martin, or whoever you are, you can't leave him here.
I can't take both of you. And with you with me, Lamont, the cops won't shoot.
This is murder to leave him here, just as much as if you shot him.
He'll be able to work his way out of those ropes in a couple of hours. Now let's get going. Come on, let's get this thing moving.
Professor Lamont as hostage, headed across the desert, leaving behind him a man bound and helpless. Following the discovery of the abandoned car, a methodical check was made in the small town of 3 Wells as the search continued for the murder suspect.
Ever seen this man before?
No. Never saw him before in my life.
Take a good look, will you? Think who's been in here today. He might have been pretty well dressed up. I'd say he's about 5 feet 9, 165 pounds.
Wait a minute. That face is familiar now. About so tall?
Yeah, that's right. Then you have seen him.
Yeah. His face and hands are dirty. He looked like he'd been working on a car or something.
What was he wearing?
Work clothes. Brown, sort of. And a jacket.
How long ago did he leave?
About an hour ago. With two fellas.
What two fellas?
A couple of college guys.
Were they students?
Gosh, no. Professors. He drove off with them.
Did they say where they were going?
Out to desert's all I know. You know, it seemed awful strange to me.
Why do you say that?
We were going out to look for fish bones. Fish bones in the desert? That's the man, all right. I'm sure now.
Thanks. Thanks very much. You know, if he heads out across the desert with the units we got, we can't possibly cover him.
He'll make for the state line, sure. He's got a choice of a dozen roads. Block one on either side of the line, and he'll head for another. Those two men with him were stymied.
Yeah.
All right, Professor. Which way to the road?
About a quarter of a mile that way.
You sure?
Yes?
Now get this and get it straight. The sooner I get to where those roads branch off, the sooner you get turned loose. Then you can save your pal back there. If I wanted him to die, I would have shot him. Save me and you save Ryan. Got it, Professor?
He's traveling with two men. At the moment, we feel that he's wearing work clothes. Will you contact Helicopter Unit 141? Tell them we're at Three Wells. Have them pick us up on the west side of town.
Moving down there except a coyote.
Not the one we're after. Helicopter 141 to headquarters.
Headquarters to helicopter. Go ahead.
Request information on units patrolling state line checkpoints.
Reports negative.
I'm 2 miles north of Highway 40. I'll continue search.
10-4.
Straight ahead.
Turn back and make another pass over this area. I thought I saw something that looked like car tracks.
See those tracks here?
No. I see something else that's white and it's moving. That's a man signaling. Set it down.
Quickly told what he had overheard of Stan Warren's plan of escape and of his probable course across the desert.
You sure you're all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. But that guy's got Steve. You got to do something.
Well, there's 3 in the copter already. There's not room for anybody else. Suppose you walk to the highway. I'll have a patrol car pick you up. Can you make it?
That's fine. Don't worry about me. Just help Lamont.
Okay, thanks.
can't be very far away now. That's the first road he'd hit coming out of the desert.
Yeah, but which way would he go?
East. That's the only way to get him out of the state. That's his best bet. Follow the road east.
Looks like them up the road there.
Yeah. That's Warren and Lamont, all right. Fits Ryan's description exactly. Circle out away from the road, but keep him in sight. If we get too close, Warren will know we're after him.
How are we going to stop him? He's got Lamont.
An obstruction that doesn't look like we set it up. That's what we need. That truck, when it's around the curve, it'll be out of Warren's view. Circle low around that hill. Keep out of Warren's sight. We'll stop the truck and use it as a roadblock. Dylan and I can hide in it. And you take off fast. Get the copter up and away from the road.
Oh, I get it. The stalled truck will get Warren out.
When he's clear of Lamont, we'll nab him.
Sounds okay to me.
We could hover over and maybe you could drop into it. You feel acrobatic?
Sure.
Okay, you're elected. Good luck. Approach your truck from the rear. You all set?
All set.
All right, you know what to do. As soon as Warren's in the clear, we'll come back and cover you.
You better get out. I'm after a killer. Start walking down the highway and don't look back. It isn't going to be healthy around here in a couple of minutes.
What's going on? You stay here while I see what the trouble is. If you yell out or make one false move, you get this. And so does anybody else who happens to be around.
All right, Warren, put your hands on your head. Come on. Get out. Run.
Swing this thing around. Warren's after Lamont again. If he gets him, we're right back where we started. Pour it on.
Put your hands on top of your head and keep them there.
That officer in the truck, I think he's...
Yeah, thanks, Professor. We found Mr. Ryan. He's okay. Slide in. We'll go down to the truck. You had a rough one this time, didn't you?
Just a nick.
Tell you what I'll do with you. Keep you up the stunt detail for a while, huh? Arthur, you take off for Holbrook Hospital. Sir, I'm Matthews, Highway Patrol. Thanks so much for your cooperation. You've been very kind.
Glad to have helped.
Next week's Highway Patrol story is a very unusual one. I hope you'll be with us. Until then, remember, it isn't the car that kills, it's the driver. This is Broderick Crawford saying, see you next week.
Journey back to the village of Mayberry for Andy Griffith. Weekday mornings at 11:30 here in the Time Warp on CKBR.
Whenever the laws of any state are broken, a duly authorized organization swings into action. It may be called the state police, state troopers, militia, the rangers, or the highway patrol. These are the stories of the men whose training, skill, and courage have enforced and preserved our state laws. Law enforcement agencies, one of the most dangerous criminals is the unpredictable armed beginner. Because he is always nervous, often frightened, his comparatively minor crimes frequently explode into crimes of major violence. Such an explosion occurred 6 weeks ago when Joe Tully, with his wife Gloria, attempted what appeared to be a simple holdup of a service station.
Come on, let's get out of here. Highway Patrol, Sergeant Williams. Oh, where, Mr. Larkin? I see. And when was that?
Now, just now. A young guy wearing a brown suit. He had a girl with him. They got away in a blue four-door sedan.
Did you get the license number? All right, Mr. Larkin, if you'll wait there, an officer will be right out. Thank you.
What's going on?
The owner of a filling station 2 miles out of Woodhaven was just shot.
Robbery?
Yeah, a man and a woman. Here's the descriptions.
How's it stand now?
Well, the station's right here. I'm ordering roadblocks here, here, and here.
Well, we'll plug the gaps on the way out. Get out an APB. We'll be in touch with you.
All this for what? For peanuts.
Why'd you have to shoot him, Joe?
I had to. I told you it was either him or me.
if he's dead?
Will you stop it? The worst part about it is that I was seen. The guy that I bumped into got a real good look at me. And at the car.
What are we gonna do?
I don't know. I gotta think.
I knew him pretty well, Mr. Matthews. He'd never let anybody push him around.
Yeah, I know the morgue is full of that type. You say a girl was driving?
I just got a glimpse. She looked about, 22, blonde hair and a yellow sweater.
You think you know for sure what you saw in the car?
Oh, absolutely. That gunman looked right at me when he bumped into me.
Did you get any part of the license number?
No, sir.
Let's go over the car again. You're sure it was a blue sedan? Is there anything else you can remember?
Well, yeah. They had a little cup, little gold cup, like you win in a golf tournament, hanging on the rear view mirror. It was about so big.
Oh, yeah, I know the kinds you mean. All right, thanks, Mr. Locken. We'll be in touch with you.
Yes, sir.
Find anything?
Nothing. No footprints or tire prints back there.
All right, Ken, let's go. I want to get the newspapers on the air right away.
Okay, stand by for the corner call when he gets here.
Right.
Thought I heard a siren. We were lucky to get back here, you know.
That's why I pick places close to town, like the gas station. It's not gonna help much this time.
You don't think they're gonna come here?
They're gonna be looking for the car. It's the only way they can identify us. They're not gonna quit. If they don't find it in the streets, they're gonna search this whole area, house by house. And that lousy garage door won't even close.
Joe, they don't know my car. Let's get out of here.
Be hunted for the rest of our lives. All they have to do is find the car, and then they'll find us. How far are we gonna get on $100? Their only chance is to get rid of the car. Then we're in the clear.
What if they got the license number?
If they had, they would have been here before now. Think straight, huh? Frank. How about Frank?
Oh, he wouldn't help us, Joe. He's too honest anyway. Can we burn the car? Can we soak it in gas and burn it?
No. For the same reason we can't sell it or paint it or dump it in a lake someplace. If one person saw the car and got suspicious, they'd trace us down by the serial numbers.
But you said that a welder could lift those numbers right off.
Off the motor, off the motor. There's others hidden inside that only the cops in the factory know about.
But look, if it works with a stolen car, why won't it work here?
Gloria, this is no handy-handy car heist. If that guy dies, we both end up in the death house. Frank. I keep coming back to Frank. With that big precipice, it'd be so simple. Once that thing gets through with the car, there'd be nothing left to trace.
Is there any chance that he'd help us, Joe?
He's my own brother. But... well, at least he won't turn us into the cops for asking.
Try it, Joe. Call him.
No. No, I could talk him into it a lot better face to face. Change clothes. Now run down to Colby and I'll see him. Take your car.
But if he says okay, how are you going to get your car past the roadblocks?
You'll have to bring it.
Me? Alone?
Now, wait. Here's how we'll work it. Now, we both got street maps in the cars. On the way down, I'll walk every roadblock, every back road that's clear. Then I'll call you.
And I mark it on mine.
Right. It'll be a cinch. You know exactly where you're going before you leave. Okay. It's gonna be risky. But we got no choice. Get the street maps? Okay.
Call 4018. Tell him to go to Evansville Junction. Let me know when he's in position.
I've got the descriptions in the newscast. Somebody will spot them.
These characters are smart. They figure the car's our only lead. Well, if we find it, we can identify him. If we don't, we're in the soup.
You know, they may figure we didn't get that license number.
That gives them plenty of time. They can stall. They can alter the car, get a paint job.
Well, we're covering all the body and paint shops. The only two lakes they can dump in are both reservoirs, and they're being watched.
And the used car lots and the wrecking yards, they're being watched too. What's that leave us?
Not much. You know, I still think if I were in their spot, I'd try a quick paint job. That's the easy way.
I don't know. They're hot. Paint job would cost a lot of money.
Well, the guy could rent a spray gun and try to do the job himself.
That could be. Let's check it.
I see your identification, please. Okay.
Where's the next one?
About a mile down the road.
What are you doing here? You're liable to get your hands dirty.
That's a heck of a way to talk to your own kid brother after 2 long years.
What do you want, Joe?
Advice. Shall we go inside? Hey, the press is really great, Frank. How long does it take you to give a car the full treatment?
2 or 3 minutes to run through the press. What do you want to talk about, Joe?
How long does it take you to strip it down? You know, before you stick it in the press?
2 or 3 hours.
Hey, $50 says that you can't do it anywhere near that time, Frank.
Play games with your flashy friends, Joe. What do you want to talk about?
Wait a minute, Frank. Now, look, I'm serious. About getting rid of the car, I mean.
What car?
Just a car. It's mine.
What color is it?
Well, what difference does that make, Frank?
Answer me. Is it a blue four-door?
How'd you find out?
The cops were here. Look for a blue four-door, they said. It belongs to a guy who held up a filling station and shot the owner. That was you, Joe.
I didn't mean to do it, Frank. Honest, I didn't.
You've been saying that all your life, Joey.
Sorry. Don't lecture me, Frank, please. Learn my lesson, believe me. Frankie, please help me. Just one more time.
If the cops don't find that car, they'll come back.
Not for a while, Frank. And by that time, there's not going to be anything left.
You're taking an awful chance.
Frankie, nobody's ever going to know. Please, Frank, if that guy dies, they're going to kill me.
It's already dead.
While Dan Matthews and men of the Highway Patrol combed the blocked-off area for any sign of the car that would identify the killer, Joe Tully already was successfully implementing his plan for the car's complete obliteration.
Hello? Joe?
It's okay, Gloria. Frank says he'll do it. Now look, first roadblock is on the boulevard. It's between Walcott and Bayside. Get on Clooney Road, and you got it made. There's no roadblocks there. Now go as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Well, if that blue sedan's in this area, it's liable to stay the same color anyway.
Let's see here. Yeah, we've got roadblocks on all the roads and highways leading out of town. I got a feeling they're still around in here someplace.
Well, they won't try to sit tight.
Won't hurt to squeeze them a little bit. Let's start closing in the roadblocks.
How about this south side? That's a hash of back trails.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, let's go over to Clooney Road. 2150 to headquarters.
As the Highway Patrol continued its relentless search, Gloria Tully was at the moment carefully working her way through the maze of roadblocks in her desperate effort to reach her husband, Joe.
How's it going?
Nothing so far. How's Clooney Road?
It's open. Get over there right away.
Yes, sir.
Come on, Ken. Let's get back.
Where is she?
The longer we wait, the riskier this gets.
She'll be here, Frank. Cops have got roadblocks up. Look, she's just being careful.
What happens if she gets stopped?
She won't be.
Yeah? Listen, I've gambled everything I got on you, Joey. I don't like having to depend on Gloria this way.
Frank, she's here. What took you so long?
I had an awful time, Joe.
You weren't followed, were you?
No.
Come on, Joe, come on. Let's get this out of sight. Back there where we can work on it.
Give me those reports you're not working on. Thanks. Ken, how many units checking these?
3, but more calls are coming in as more people get the news.
You get that, will you?
Highway Patrol, Sergeant Williams. Oh, yes, ma'am? When was that? Oh, I see. Thanks very much. This looks like the one, but there's a big hitch. She spotted a car almost an hour ago. Just about hit her when she crossed the street.
What was she waiting for, rain?
No, she just heard a newscast. Lives over on Maple Avenue.
Maple Avenue. Yeah, that's on the south side.
Everything seems to tally except the color of the coat the girl was wearing.
That figures. Well, she must have taken a back road in there someplace.
That must have been about the time we were there.
Let's take it from the top. Suppose she got biased.
Well, she'd have to come out, well, either here or over here. That'd mean the roadblocks either Evansville or Paxton would catch her.
Yeah, that's a little more than 50 miles. She'd have hit one of them by now. What's in between there?
Well, not much with farmland. There's some heavy industry at Colby, and there's some auto wreckers along that highway.
Yeah, the big wreckers, too. If they ever get that car into a press, we'll never find it.
Well, we've warned all those auto wreckers. You think they'd take a chance?
Well, money talks. Let's check those yards again. Here, have Dennis meet us.
Why's Gloria still here?
Waiting for me?
Get her out of here. We got enough trouble on our hands.
Are you finished?
Not quite. Frank's got a bad case of the jitters.
Well, look, so have I.
Okay, but Frank is nervous because of you being here. Look, why don't you hop in your car and go someplace else for now, huh?
Oh, no, Joe, I don't want to be alone anymore. Come with me, please.
No, I'm going to stay right here until I see my car go through that press. After that, Frank could break a leg for all I care, but until then, I'm going to stay here and baby him. So get going. Going!
While two desperate people raced against the pressure of time, the Highway Patrol, anticipating the criminal's need to destroy the car, set out to once again search and comb each and every auto wrecker in the area, looking for any clue to a blue four-door sedan.
No car, no registration slip.
Yeah. Okay, Joe. Now I'm going to give you some advice.
Oh, skip it, Frank.
I took a big chance to help you because I... Cops, get out!
There's 2 or 3 blue ones around here. Let's check them. Hey, Ken, come here. Take a look at this. Hey, Mac, come here. What does this one look like before it hit the press?
How would I know? I do 100 of these a day. I can't keep track of all these old heaps. What are you looking for?
The officers that were here before told you what we're looking for. You being cute?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What's this doing here?
How would I know?
Why were you in such a particular hurry to get rid of this one?
I wasn't. Why should I be?
Trying to get it out of sight.
Don't be ridiculous. Look, you know and I know that 2 hours ago this was a brand new car. Who's the owner? I don't have any idea. Who hired you? Nobody. Mac, we're looking for a killer. You're in deep. Don't get in any deeper. I'm going to give you a choice. You can tell me here at headquarters. Who's the owner and where is he?
Right behind you. Don't move. Hand on the gun. Get it off! When he moves, I'll blow you in two. Goes for you too, Frank. All right. Real slow now. Drop the guns. Jerk the wires out of the car and bust the radio. And turn our car around so we can get out of here fast. Go on! All right. Back off.
My brother. He's had that coming for years. Where you're going, you'll have plenty of time to explain that to him.
See Highway Patrol next week. Until then, remember, leave your blood at the Red Cross or your community blood bank, not on the highway. This is Broderick Crawford saying, see you next week.